funny when the whole novel coronavirus thing happened. When I thought wearing this was a fun little irony. I was like, oh, hey, get to wear a black bandana and walk around going to work and such. Yeah, it's funny. But it's not that funny anymore. It's really not. And yeah, I think the message, I think they got the message. So I'm going to take this off and throw it over there. And if I march, which I probably might, yeah, you know, if I see in my area, my community, I would march in solidarity. But I'm not going to wear that. Because that right there is, this bandana is co-opting a movement. Did you see this? Did you even really see this in Ferguson? Did you see this at all during the Rodney King riots? Did you see this at all during the Watts riots? I don't think so. Not that much. And if you said, you know, I know the movement, it was different back then. You know, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe the people, the real active ones, are all the same. But either way, I mean, it's a rich history as well, too. I'm not bashing anarchism as an ideal. You know, I am one myself. I still am, and I still will stand by that, you know. But the thing is that it used to be focused around anti-globalism. One of my first movements, direct actions, was at G20 Pittsburgh, where all of that rhetoric you would never hear now spit from anyone that would self-tote themselves as Antifa. That right now, I will consider the people in that movement that would consider that. You are correct on calling them with a capital letter Antifa. Yeah, that's correct. You're correct to call them that, because that's not Antifa. Antifa used to be or maybe it's the other way around. Used to be, I just know with a lowercase a, used to be a subject, like a sub, like just a sub-ideology in anarchism. It used to be like, okay, so you're anti-fascist. Like, what are your main focuses? Oh, my main focus is anti-fascism and eco-survival. Or, well, what's your main focus? Oh, my main focus is globalization and imperialism. Oh, what's your main focus? Like, you know, people would ask, like, what do you specialize in? Like, you know, like, it wasn't a group. It wasn't something that you completely identified with. And where I saw this have a major sea change was at Occupy. I camped at Occupy Boston, and I will admit that. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. Sorry, pardon my French for if children are watching. And then I was in Occupy Wall Street as well, too. And I went there for a couple of days. And, you know, I noticed at the beginning of the movement, it was very open. There was a lot of what they call the General Assembly. A lot of that changed. The rhetoric, just a lot of the different discourses got stifled. It became a lot of a group think, as they call it, and all of that is just telltale signs of the fact that the movement's being co-opted by not only Marxists, because, you know, some Marxists are. I'm not dissing Marxism, but I am dissing Leninism, and it's telltale signs either Leninism or Trotskyism, and it's like they call it a vanguard. It's a vanguardism, and so the thing is, it's inherently not anarchist, but anarcho-syndicalism, when you see that black and red flag, kind of cues you in. That's like, okay, here's an anarchist movement. This might seem like a black bloc. Here's an anarchist movement, which black bloc, I know. But, you know, it is a historical type of way of protesting, too, where y'all clad up in black so no one can tell who's doing what. You know, I mean, it does, historically it did have relevance, but, you know, now it's gotten co-opted. And maybe it always was. Fuck knows. But, anyways, I digress. There are merits to the ideology. And, if I was younger and a little more naive, I guess I would be out in there, and who knows how active I would be. I mean, I was a journalist in my time when I was out doing G20 and Occupy, but I would have never expected to have the relevance that it does now, and for it to possibly be the pivoting point for the Democratic Party, because this to me doesn't even seem like anarchists anymore. It just seems like radical Democrats, right? Like, they're not anarchists, they're radical Democrats. It's because the whole thing is Antifa is really funny because you have to define what fascism is to say you're anti-fascist, because that's the whole point. The whole thing is you're anti-fascist. So is nationalism fascism? Because some people define nationalism as fascism. If that's the case, then I guess you're a radical Antifa. If you don't and differentiate between the two, then you're just a normal Antifa. Like, it's weird. Like, so it's really a matter of like how you define the term fascism. So it's such a bloated, loaded, like, it kind of almost is a group now, because they're organizing behind. There is organization behind this. There's heavy organization behind this, and that's not anything that has to do with anarchism. I mean, like, you know, Occupy, everyone shit on them because everyone made fun of them because they thought they were bums. But, like, you know, look at this now. This seems pretty organized. If you know, like, it seems like there's some sort of thing running on under here. And, you know, everyone says that. It's like, well, the Republican Party's dead and Democratic Party's dead. Maybe this is their little pivot. You know, maybe they're, you know, because at least the Democratic Party's all into co-opting movements, you know. So it's like, never would have thought it would have been mine. Yeah, I always thought they made fun of us so much. Never got media attention until 2016. Oy. Anyways, yeah. I'm going to let this end for now. But definitely up for a part 2. But, yeah, so keep it real. Be safe if you're marching. I guess I have to also say, too, that remember, the police most likely want violence against them because they have this whole thing where they fly the blue they fly a blue stripe in the American flag. That should be treason. Like, they should be arrested for that shit. Like, literally in the Constitution. So it's like, oh yeah, a public service officer did desecrating the flag on their day off. Oh yeah, I should be arrested. It's like, but they're the cops and they can't arrest themselves. So, yeah, no, it's just a police state out in the open. Yeah, literally being like, we're flaunting this. We're want you to think we're assholes. We want you to try to kill us because then we don't have to work anymore and we can usher in like robotic fucking military or whatever. I don't fucking know. But, or just plant you and paralyze you. But anyways, all right. Bye guys. Peace. Stay safe out there. And remember, be mindful of your neighbor and try not to shut them up. Let them speak just as much as you want to speak. Peace.